right, grade 6, we are starting our new unit, and our big idea for this unit is understanding improper fractions, mixed numbers, ratios, and percent help us to describe and compare quantities, and a quantity is an amount. So we're going to be looking at improper fractions, mixed numbers, ratios, and percents, and being able to compare those amounts to see which would be more or less. Our concept today is talking about mixed numbers and improper fractions and how they relate. So this is actually lessons 1 and 2 together. There will also be some of it from other books, so it's not necessarily all from your textbook. But this would be Unit 5, Lesson 1, Connect section, and Lesson 2. So, first of all, when we talk about mixed numbers and improper fractions, they're all related to an amount. So, how would you describe the number of sandwiches you have on this tray? Well, there are a couple of different ways we can describe them. We can describe them in how many whole and part sandwiches we have, and that would be a mixed number. We have 2 whole sandwiches, and then we have one sandwich which was originally into 4 parts. One part is missing. So remember, when we do the fraction portion, the bottom number is how many there are all together in one piece. So in one sandwich, how many are there? Well, there's 4. And in this one, there's 3 left. So it's 2 3/4 of a sandwich is the number of sandwiches on the tray. 2 3/4 of one sandwich is what's on the tray. That would be a mixed number. Now, when we look at it as an improper fraction, we are looking at all of the little parts, okay? So again, our bottom number is still how many are in one whole, so that's 4. But how many little fourths do we have all together? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 fourths. That would be the improper fraction. So improper fraction and mixed number are actually describing the same amount. It's just a different way of saying it. Okay, so a mixed number always has one large number, where the improper fraction always has the top number larger than the bottom number. A proper fraction, so the normal kind of fraction that you've been working with, that would just be, say, for example, 1 fraction, 3/4. That's a proper fraction, and that's what you've worked with so far when you've talked about fractions. Once we got into grade 6, that's when we start to look at more than one whole item, and then it has to be a mixed number or an improper fraction. When you are writing your mixed number, you need to make sure that your large number is quite a bit larger, because if it was like this, it would look like 23/4. That's not acceptable. So it has to be quite a bit larger, and it has to be in the middle of that fraction. So it's like this, 2 3/4. Okay, improper fraction, as I've already said, remember this top number must be larger than the bottom number. Remember, the bottom number is still only how many are in one section. Students are tempted to say, well, this would be 11, I'm missing one, 11/12, because altogether there would be 12 little pieces. That would then be a proper fraction, and that is not what we're looking for. We're looking for the improper fraction, and we need how many in the bottom are in one shape or one item. All right, let's take a look at these triangles. One triangle is a whole, so that means that our bottom number has to be 3. And if we're talking about a mixed number, we have 2 complete wholes and 2 out of 3, so it would be 2 2/3. If we were talking about an improper fraction, we would count how many we have that are green. We would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it would be 8/3 as an improper fraction. Both have to be over 3 because 1 is divided into 3 pieces. Okay. Again, the numerator is the top number, the 8, and the denominator is the bottom number, the 3. When we talk about a whole number, or sorry, a mixed number, the front number is called the whole number. It's not in any parts. And then the fraction is just the fraction part. Okay, so we have the whole number and the fraction. This is why it's called a mixed number, because it's two kinds together. It's whole numbers along with parts of it, which would be the fraction. All right, we're going to do a little bit of practicing. We'll do the first one together, and then I'll get you to do the other 3, B, C, and D, with your partners in your group. So let's take a look at the first one. So we're going to write it as a mixed number, and then we're also going to write it as an improper fraction. So as a mixed number, first of all, I need to figure out what my bottom number is. Well, it's going to be 4, because there are 4 parts. How many complete whole parts do I have? Well, I have 2, so that's my large number. In my one that's not a full part, how many fourths do I have? Well, I've got 1 out of 4. So that's my mixed number. My improper fraction, again, I know there's 4 in 1, so that's my bottom number. How many little fourths do I have altogether? Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it would be 9 fourths as an improper fraction. Press pause, and with your partners, try B, C, and D. All right, let's take a look. I'm going to try the improper fraction first for this one. So again, how many parts are in one whole? Well, I've got 3 parts. How many little thirds do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would be my improper fraction. My mixed number, well, again, I need thirds. How many wholes do I have? Well, I have 3, so that's going to be big, and 1/3. For the stars, let's take a look. I'm going to do mixed numbers first this time. One star has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. So out of 5, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 complete stars with 3/5 on the last one. That'd be my mixed number. My improper fraction, again, out of 5. I'm going to just put commas between those so I've separated them. How many fifths do I have? Well, I'm not going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 each time. I'm going to use my 5 times tables to help me. 5, 10, 15, 21, 22, 23. So I have 23 fifths. Sorry, squished that one in. Last one, again, I'm going to try improper fraction first. How many in one section? They're in halves, so it's 2. How many halves do I have? Again, I'm going to use my multiplication tables to help me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, plus 1 more makes that 11. As a mixed number, again, over 2. How many wholes do I have? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all together with 1/2. So you've had a little bit of practice with mixed numbers and improper fractions. We're going to move on to converting them now. There will be times where you will have a fraction in a mixed number and you want to change it into an improper fraction. Or you might have an improper fraction and you want to change it into a mixed number. Okay, so here we are choosing, which should you choose, 1/3 or 5/3? Really, it's helping you to compare if you put them both into the same kind of a number. So I'm going to put 1/3 into an improper fraction. Well, how many thirds can I fit into 5? How many groups of 3 can fit into 5? Well, really only 1. So that then becomes my big number. And remember, it still has to be over thirds. That doesn't change. So I have 1 group of 3. How many do I have left? Well, I have 2 left. So it becomes 1 2/3. So if we had this number as an improper fraction, this would be the mixed number for it. You could also draw yourself a picture. A picture is really quite helpful. If we have 5/3, we know we have to have something divided into thirds. Equal pieces is possible. Again, equal pieces is possible. And 5/3, well, I'd have to fill in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So drawing a picture can really help as well. Or you can choose the math where you figure out, okay, How many thirds are going to fit into 5, which leaves us with the 1. How many do I have left? Well, 3. One group of 3 is 3. To get to 5, I need 2 more, and that becomes our top number. Another couple examples to look at. Here we have 2 and 3/4, and we want that in an improper fraction. Now, to go from a mixed number to an improper fraction isn't too tricky because, again, you could draw out the pictures. Okay, so here we have 2 complete wholes of fourths or quarters in this case. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Add these 3 here, 9, 10, 11. So 11/4. Or you could use the multiplication and addition part to help you. Here we know that 2 groups of 4 is what this means. So 2 groups of 4 is 8. Add the 3 that's there, plus 3 does give you the 11. So if we multiply these two numbers and then add this one, we will get the new top number. Remember, the bottom number doesn't change, it stays the same. Okay, and again, you could draw out a picture to help you if you want. And that's what he's done here. He's drawn out a picture. He's got 2 complete groups of fourths here, and then he's got 3 more, which then he counted up to realize would be 11/4. Here's a little bit more of an explanation on the math way to assist you. Okay, here we have an improper fraction that we're trying to make into a mixed number. So again, you're going to divide those. 6 divided by 13. 2 groups of 6 can fit in there. That's 12. Leaves you with a remainder of 1. The 1 becomes the top number. So 2 becomes your large number. 1 becomes your top number. And it always is over 6 because that part doesn't change. Okay. Here's the math explanation of the mixed number into an improper fraction. And we did this already. So the 4 times the 3, which gives us the 12, plus the 2, which is the part that we have left over, which makes it 14/3. All right, now you get to do some practicing. We're going to do a little bit of practicing of both, or of a number of things here. You're going to start by writing a mixed number, mixed number and an improper fraction for each. Press pause and try that now. All right, let's take a look. So A, we have how many parts all together? Because we're going to need that for both, right? So A, how many parts? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts all together. For the mixed number, how many wholes do we have? Well, we have 1 complete whole, so that's 1. And how many do we have left here? Well, we just only have 1 left. And sometimes, and I don't love when they do fractions like this, they'll do it as if part of the picture is missing. So you have to visualize the other part is actually still there in order for this to work. I'll just draw it in. Poorly drawn, all my pieces aren't equal, but you get the idea. Okay. An improper fraction then, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sixths. And we could check if we're right, because I could say, okay, 1 group of 6 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. Yep, that looks good. How many groups of 6 can fit into 7? 1. How many am I going to have left over? 1 group of 6, add 1 more makes us 7. That would be the mixed number. So, yep, I'm right. Okay, let's try B. How many pieces all together in 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 7. So, of course, we need 7 for both, always making sure we realize they're the same. How many complete wholes do I have? Well, I have 2 complete wholes. And then here I have 2 and 2 sevenths. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it is 7. Just confirming that. If I wanted an improper fraction, well, 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 2 more, 15, 16. 16 sevenths would be our improper fraction. And again, I can check that. 2 groups of 7 is 14, add 2 more is 16. Yep, that works. How many groups of 7 can I have in 16? Well, I can 7 plus another 7 is 14, so I can have 2 complete groups. 14 from 16 take away is 2 left. That would be my 2 on top. Yep, looks like I'm good. Okay, last one, C. I have what looks like is going to be quarters, and again, not the best drawn picture there, but that's what that would be. So it's out of fourths. For the mixed number, I have 3 complete ones, and then I have 2 there. Which means then I have to imagine these as all being split, and I can draw that if I want. Or I can just know, okay, well 4 plus 4 plus 4, that's 12, 13, 14 is 14 fourths. Okay, and again, I can double check to be sure. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2 is 14. Yep, got that. 14 divided by 4, I would be left with 3 with a remainder of 2. So, yep, 3 and 2 fourths would be a good mixed number. All right, now you're going to do some practice of converting these fractions from one to the other. You do need to show work, as always in our class. You may either draw the picture to show your work or show the math to do your work. So either option is fine. Whichever you find works more effectively for you is perfect. So go ahead and try, first of all, 1 ABC, where you are making the mixed number into an improper fraction. Go ahead, press pause, and try that now on your paper with your partners. All right, let's take a look at A. So I'm going to do this one the math way. Actually, no, you know what? I'll draw this one as a picture. So I have groups of 3. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 completely whole ones, and then I have 1 left, and these are completely shaded. Each is going to have a group of 3. Let's just pretend they're completely shaded there. Remember, they're going to be groups of 3. They should be as equal as possible, and this is where I don't love drawing as a strategy for myself, because sometimes when I'm working quickly, see, like that, I have a hard time drawing my shape, or dividing my shape into equal thirds. Let's try that again. It's better. All right, so let's take a look. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So yes, 26 thirds is correct for my improper fraction. I'm going to try the math way for figuring out this mixed number into an improper fraction. 6 times 8 is going to be 48, plus the 7. 8 plus 7 is 15, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, so 55. So it would be 55 eighths. And let's take a look at our last one, C. We have 9 halves. Again, I'm going to use my math. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 1 is 19. So it would be 19 over the same number, 2, 19 halves. All right, now you're going to write each improper fraction into a mixed number. So go ahead and press pause and do that on your paper. Remember, it must be done on paper. It must have work. If you don't practice properly, then your work, when you do your homework, will also probably have some errors. So make sure your practice is done on paper with your partners so it can be well done. All right, let's take a look. We have 5 thirds. Well, I'm going to divide 3 by 5 to see. Oops. I'm going to divide 5 by 3 to see. So be careful. You want this to be your divisor and this to be your dividend. So watch for that, okay? How many groups of 3 can I have in 5? Well, really only 1. 1 times 3 is 3. I'm going to have 2 left over. That's my remainder 2. So remember, 1 is my big number then, and 2/3 becomes my mixed number. Let's take a look at 7/6. Again, I'm going to have 6 on the outside, 7 on the inside. How many groups of 6 can fit into 7? Well, 1. 1 times 6 is 6. Left with 1, so it's 1 remainder 1, which means it's 1 and 1/6. Last one to try. 5 divided by 9. How many groups of 5 fit into 9? Not quite 2, still only 1. 1 times 5 is 5. Whoops, sorry. Subtract leaves me with 4, so 1 remainder 4. So 1 is my big number, and 4, and again, same bottom number, 4/5 is my mixed number. All right, you are now moving on to your concept practice, and it's going to involve writing mixed numbers and improper fractions, as well as converting mixed numbers and improper fractions. So page 164, numbers 1, 2, and 8. Page 168, numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 7 and 8. Remember to ask questions as you go of either myself or any of the other helpers that are in the room. Thanks. All right, and again, as some of you are often forgetting your textbook, here are your textbook questions again. Here's your questions 1 and 2, questions 3 to 5, and 6 to 9, as well as the reflect prompt. Converting lessons, again, use whichever strategy you prefer. I know in the instructions sometimes it'll say use rods or use strips or use whatever, draw pictures. Feel free to use whichever strategy you prefer, but do remember that you must show work to support your answer. That's your evidence of thinking that supports your answer. So work must accompany each question, but you can choose whichever strategy you prefer. Here's questions 1 to 5. And questions 6 to 9. And lastly, questions 10 and 11 and the reflect prompt. Do the best you can, show all work, and ask questions as you go.